there's paths we take based on the decisions we make. Always, you want to be always calculated on your decisions, and other opportunities will open. It's most important when those opportunities arrive that you have the courage and to make that decision to take that opportunity. A lot of opportunities come and people don't really take those opportunities or have that initiative. And I think that's a major advantage for entrepreneurs when you look at it. They're willing to take that risk and take that advantage. Hey, I'm John Fieldy, the CEO, chairman of Celsius Energy Drink. We're here bringing energy all around the world. Tastes great. On this podcast today, hear about what's happening, coming from the bowels of the beverage industry, now one of the most rapidly thriving brands in the category.
All right, man. Well, again, thank you so much for being here. Excited to dive into your story, how you got here doing what you're doing, but specifically what you guys are doing at Celsius has really caught my attention this year. Little backstory, I'm not really an energy drink guy. I never really have been, because straight up, the last one I tried made me sick. I got maybe like 4 or 5 sips into it and just like threw up. I don't know if that was that brand thing or where I was that day, but it just seemed like this is not meant to be in my body, straight up. And I've tried Celsius and my wife is in love with it. And I see so many people in my space of, we're doing all these other things physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually to optimize and to maintain even. And I see them reaching for this product. So that tells me a lot, man. You guys are doing good things.
Yeah, no, right on. I agree. The product's amazing. There's a lot of other products out there. I could see where you're getting sick from a lot of them out there. There's a lot of crazy products on the market, but I think what separates us is the better for you ingredients and the green tea and the ginger, 7 essential vitamins, and it's differentiated out there when you look at the product, and it tastes great. We've got fruit forward, great flavor combinations, coming out with some really new flavors, Arctic 5 and a strawberry lemonade for summer, which we're really excited about. But the brand's been doing extremely well. I've been here 11 years, so I started the journey back in 2012, and I was here as part of a turnaround team that came on, and we've been building this brand, and it's been fun. And it's when I started with the company, it was getting discontinued out of a lot of retailers around the country. I didn't realize that when I first started, but when you mentioned you tried Celsius, you really enjoyed it. I did some demos at some 5Ks prior to joining with the company, and I was sampling out some product in a town north of Tampa in Florida, where I'm from, and we're at a 5K, friends and family handing product out, and no one knew what it was. No one really could barely give it away for free at the time, and I had a couple like sparks. People that were just frantic, running up. Actually, I had one person run up and give us a hug and asked if we could take any leftovers home. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. I'm like, I was like, so you like Celsius? And they go, oh, they were just in love with it. And it was the thing that's amazing with the product. It's changed people's lives. It's really, really neat. We used to have a lot of before and afters, and we had really helping people get fit and get healthy. And we've had several people that have lost over 100 pounds. My wife is a school teacher, and she turned several people onto it, and one person lost over 100 pounds on the product. I mean, it's changed people's lives. It gets people, thinking about fitness, thinking about life, and that's really what's in the DNA of the brand.
You mentioned something that I would love to kind of go down a rabbit hole with you on, and that's what I love about people like yourself and people that come on the show. It's you found a way to take an obstacle and turn it into your calling. The obstacle is the way, to turn a pretty big adversity into what I'm hearing over the last, now decade plus is an incredible advantage. And the turnaround, the pivot, the thing that it didn't seem like maybe you were even fully aware of, that was your mountain to climb. What was it like taking on such a big endeavor as turning the ship on such a big entity as Celsius, and not only doing it, but thriving, like I said, now on the other side of a decade?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing just to be here. I mean, I still treat every day like it was the first day I started, the first week. I mean, you're always, it's amazing. When I first started, we did 6 million in the full year, and We just finished the second quarter of 2022 and 154 million in revenue for the company. It's really amazing, but there's so much more opportunity for us to go. Never be complacent, never give up. Make every day when you arrive, make it a little bit better than when you started. I say that over and over again to all of our employees. Everyone makes a difference in it. It took us some time to understand how consumers were reacting and really, what were the thoughts of the brand we were going after. It's an amazing brand. It was the original founders built the brand and the product because at the time there was no ready to drink beverage that was a fat burner or calorie burner. At the time, when you go back over 14 years ago, it was mainly in tablets and capsules. So they wanted to create a ready to drink beverage that has thermogenic properties, burns fat and calories, and make it backed by science. So the company, when I started, was really focused on science, the negative calorie drink, differentiating in the category, which is really great. It's the world's negative calorie drink, it's your ultimate fitness partner. And there's a lot of good branding and attributes there. They did the brand right, though, with the science. And that's what differentiates us is we have over 6 clinical studies on the product, peer-reviewed, Sports Nutrition Journal. They're done by Jeff Stout. He's world-renowned in sports nutrition. The founders actually got copied by Coke and Nestle on a partnership. Wow. They created a negative calorie soda back then. Yeah, right around when Celsius was launching, called Invega. And they were shut down by the FTC, FDA, just because they didn't have any science behind the product and were making some structure function claims that couldn't be validated. So our product with Celsius, it does what it says it does. It is a thermogenic. It burns calories and body fat, and it really encourages people. And that's where we came up with the mantra on living fit. And living fit means so much to different people. It means living fit in the gym, after the gym, picking up your kids in the afternoon, getting ready for your next meeting. Living life to the fullest is all about living fit. And that's how we also arrived at Essential Energy. But it took some time going through the journey. I remember we were sitting around, it's probably around 2015, and we were talking to, we had several people come in, and we had them consuming the product and talking about the branding. And if you saw the branding prior to 2015, it really looked like a PowerPoint because we really thought the more you put on the can, the better, because by the way, it has 10 times the biotin needed. It's great for your hair and nails. I mean, the team was going after hair salons there for a little bit as well. So it's kind of interesting when you look back on the journey. I mean, we're just trying to thrive, trying to survive, trying to get a sale anywhere we could with a great product that we have. And, we figured it out. I remember there's one individual that was sitting in the meeting and he says, is this like a Slim Fast? And we're like, well, it helps you go, live fit. And there's nothing wrong with Slim Fast. It's a great brand. But he's like, I never see anyone really cheers with a Slim Fast. And, and everyone in the office is drinking it as a great energy drink. I mean, it's a really great tasting energy drink. And we wanted to be broader than a weight loss product. And that was really kind of like an aha moment when the individual was, saying, do I drink this if I'm only fat? And he was going on he got on some really interesting topics as he was talking about it. And we realized at that point that we wanted to be much broader. We want to help people live fit, live healthy. And with that, we can really, help people continue to thrive. And that was a pivotal point. That's where we started to move into this live fit, live life. And it was a interesting time through the brand journey. If you go back, we've changed the branding several times, really trying to get focused. But over the last several years, we've really dialed it in, and it's resonating with a broader consumer base than ever before, and new consumers entering the category for the first time.
I know that you had a lot to do with that, but like I said, turning the ship, it takes more than just the captain, right? We got to have everybody in line to execute and to perform and to also then contribute ideas back up the chain, to execute, but then also to give feedback. Can you kind of give us a definition or description of your leadership style? What was it like then? Has it changed or has it needed to change since you guys have kind of gotten back on course, so to speak, or plotted a new course, I should say?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're always going to be outspent. How do we outmaneuver and out execute? I say that over and over again. No one's the smartest person in the room. Everyone has roles and responsibilities, and everyone It needs to have openness on asking questions. Let's collaborate together. I'm big on cross-functional teams. I think that's really important. Everyone brings different ideas. I can't tell you one idea made it successful. It's really a collaborative effort. We've had, a lot of people, come and go through the company. Everyone has contributed to this along the journey. Big on staying focused. We have a strategy. The original company did what we call like a shotgun approach, where you get a broad distribution. You need to be really careful with consumer products that, you go too broad. It either works really good or works really bad. And chances are you haven't really built the brand for the distribution. And
what's the phrase? If your customer's everybody, then it's nobody, right?
It's nobody. And that distribution is really tough. These retailers are brutal. If you're not selling at velocity levels and within the first 6 months, you're out. And then it's really hard to get in. So, we're coming back for the second time trying to convince buyers why they should take this product, why it's different. I think we had a lot of consumer, trends on our side as we continue to evolve, with fitness becoming more mainstream than ever before. Health and wellness has gotten stronger over the last decade than it ever was. And I think, with products and consumer products, you just got to be really careful. I think that, like I talked about, leveraging the Better For You movement, that was great. If you look back in 2017, 18, there's a lot of Expo West, which is a great product expo, product of
Been
natural ingredients.
Love it.
Yeah, great. Expo East. But a lot of those products just don't deliver on the flavor profile. So I think that was, a lot of products get trial, but they don't last too long. And, I think, flavor is really key. We've really focused on flavor. We spent a lot of time on flavor, and that differentiates us as well with the ingredients that, somewhat sets us apart from the rest of the competition.
No doubt. No doubt. Speaking of competition, how do you look at competition? What is your perspective? How do you define, or do you even consider competition when looking at what we are doing, how to make it better, but then also how to keep an eye on what other people are doing in similar categories to not be outdone, not be outperformed? What does competition look like on your radar?
Yeah, be highly paranoid, right? I think always trying to stay one step ahead. I mean, we're in the most fiercest category. I mean, every business has competition, high competition. What's interesting about the energy category is you're going against two of the largest CPG companies in the world and brands that are out there. If you look at, and two of those brands represent about 70% of the total volume in the category. So truly dominant. And then once you break, past that, there's a ton of other brands that are trying to compete. There's new brands that come up each and every day. I think with the power of social media now, you're seeing new brands pop up left and right, which is great for entrepreneurs. This is probably the best time ever in the world and ever in history to be an entrepreneur right now, because you can create brands and get awareness and get trial and get immediate understanding of if consumers are interested or not, to be able to take your product to market. Versus if you went back 10 years ago, you had to spend a huge investment to get the number of consumers just to see your product and get feedback on it. So I think for entrepreneurs, it's a really exciting time.
What role did social media play in you all turning the ship around? And how does it look now? To what level do you use social media, in-house with Celsius or with other influencers and creatives? Because speaking of, being an entrepreneur right now, I think there's no better time to be an entrepreneur and so many opportunities to test the waters, but also there are a lot of other people that we can tap into in terms of leveraging audiences, cross-pollination, cross-promotion. What did Celsius do with social media then, and what are you doing now?
Yeah, I think, we've always been big on, drilling deep. We call it a drill deep strategy. I was talking about kind of that a lot of companies do. Some products will do that broad brush. You limited time at retail. We pulled back. We focused on really several key markets, and we're all creatures of habit. So if you think about it, you're like, we're all creatures that we go on the same racetrack basically every day, right? And what you want to do is try to get into the daily lifestyle and become part of that daily routine. So you pull over and you buy a Celsius and it'll be part of your day. With any consumer products, that is so key. You got to get into the daily lifestyle of your consumer to get that daily consumption or daily usage. Then you'll be able to continue to build the brand, because it's really hard chasing that next sale if you're just going to get one sale and constantly fight for the next sale. So you got to have that recurring revenue there. So that was really big for us. So we focused on given markets. So in the early days, we focused on gyms. We knew, the product provides these great attributes of accelerating metabolism, burning body fat. So we wanted to stay in the health and wellness community. So we really focused on gyms, 5Ks, and at work locations within given markets, as well as first responders, firefighters, police officers, and hospitals. Really, just high people that were staying up late, needed energy, and trying to get into their core lifestyle. So that was what we did in the early days. We did have socials. We did a big on some digital advertising. That's always been a key component to try to get some broad brush within the geo targeting. So you just when you wake up in the morning, you might see us now on Snapchat or TikTok or Instagram. You might see us on a Google search. And then you get in your car, you might hear us on the local radio. And then you stop at the store, you're going to see a display, hopefully, and some pricing. And then they'll see that brand. If you didn't see us there on your way to the gym, you'll see us maybe in the gym. So it's trying to get those multiple touch points, I think, is so critical. Every store, we try to get 3 points of disruption, we call it. We want to get the product cold. So it's really, I think the most important thing is KPIs and getting sales and marketing to work together, which is very critical, and it's easier said than done. Because both you think they're growing, doing the best and moving the company forward. It's always been a hot topic in between. It still is today. So versus growth from distribution, velocity, and marketing. But it's great. That's what we're always talking about. We're all fighting for the same thing. But getting into daily lifestyle is so critical, and social media is a big part of that today. If you look at all the platforms with influencers have been around for centuries, and they're on a different platform now, and they're just as irrelevant as they are today as they were yesterday. And if you go back 10, 20, 30 years, Marilyn Monroe, I mean, she was massively influential, right?
Well, still is, again, thanks to the Netflix documentary, it's funny, we go in cycles with history, and something becomes interesting or popular again, stirs the pot of what was trending and cool 50, 100, hundreds of years ago. And then you look at it like, damn, we're just humans repeating the same behaviors. We just have different platforms, just like you said.
Yeah. Yeah. Top Gun's back, right?
In a big way.
Blockbuster
I've seen it like 4 times. Yeah. You bring up an interesting point that I wonder if it's because I know you're CFO, and your finance background. I wonder if this is more on your radar than others. I've never heard a brand without me bringing it up. Maybe I'll pull the curtain back a little bit on, how I operate. Everford Radio, this is my bread and butter. This is my main source of income. It's my biggest platform, and I live and operate through partnerships. And about 2 years ago, I chose to pivot away from the traditional podcast partnership model of CPM. Hey, a brand A is going to give me X amount of dollars per X amount of downloads kind of thing, just traditional value exchange. But when I took a step back and I looked at, well, you know what? My podcast lives on all these podcast platforms. I'm sharing it in versions on all my social media platforms. I'm pushing it out to my email list. It's in real life. I'm doing real life. I live, walk, eat, talk, breathe the things that I talk about and the guests that I have on. And I do, in-person events and all these things. And there are so many touch points there for somebody to hear, read, watch, or even in-person experience something I'm talking about, whether that's a product that I'm partnering with, whether it's a book that I'm reading, a person in real life on the show. And it does take all these touch points, I think, before we as humans ever get to the decision of, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to check out this book, I'm going to follow this person on social media, I'm going to subscribe to this newsletter. It does take so many more touch points nowadays for us to take action because we have all of these other touch points. We are just overwhelmed, I think, personally, overwhelmed sometimes with just so much information. We're always distracted, we're always distractible, but also we're intentionally seeking things out. We're intentionally watching, reading, scrolling. And then one of those times is going to be the one it takes for us to take action. But it was so interesting for you to point out that was kind of how you were describing your working with social media. And it wasn't just, we look for this type of influencer, this type of creative. We're looking for people that can paint the big picture because we know that's what it takes. That was really refreshing to hear.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's critical. Authenticity is important, going after the right vertical as well, on fitness, and you need to stay relevant to your audience you're trying to target. And it's not just one medium. You're absolutely right. You have in-person events. You want to be part of that daily lifestyle, daily routine. And it takes today, just think of how many ads you get hit with, and driving on the car. I mean, they're coming at you every which way, and to try to stay relevant or make some noise outside of that is extremely difficult in today's environment. And there's so many choices, and consumers want it when they want it. They're not going to go hunting for your product, no matter how great it is. So, there is a lot of platforms now, from GoProf to Instagram, Instacart, and those type of platforms where you can get it, immediately, which are great, and offer, some unique opportunities. Amazon as well. We've been working with Amazon for a long time now, and we're the #2 energy drink brand now on Amazon, and that's really tough.
Wow,
Selling warm,
that's impressive.
yeah, warm product is like over $20 a consumer has to pay for a warm product, a beverage that they've never tried, and it just shows you the daily recurring and the way we've been able to connect with consumers in this really emotional way of living fit, living life, and getting in their daily routine. And we know with our flavors, you create those daily consumers, and it's time for products. It's time for the category to evolve. Red Bull and Monster have dominated for so many years. And not sure what product you had or when you drank that energy drink there. That
it may or may not have been one of those two. May or may not have been. Yeah.
But it's it's time. You know what I mean? And it's time for better energy, and that's what we're coming to deliver. So and it's exciting. It's working, and the team's having a great time doing it.
To kind of stay on this topic of marketing, social media, since I got the top of the food chain here from Celsius, I'm curious. There are so many ways to get on companies, people's radars for things that you are hoping to turn into an opportunity. Where I'm going with here is that I think there are a lot of people who find a product such as Celsius and they love it. They're like, I'm already using it. I'm integrating it into my daily life. I use it for specific reasons. I've had a transformation with it. And you become a walking, talking billboard. You begin to share with your friends. You're posting on social media. Whether it's just because that's what you want to do, and or you're like, hey, you know what? Maybe they're looking for some user-generated content. Maybe they're looking for a new partner, whatever. Does that work? That kind of reverse engineering model? When Celsius is looking, as much as you can share here, what is like the model you all are looking for? Of like, hey, we see this person really being an advocate for our brand. Like, what hope can you pass to the listener, the viewer here, if any, of what? If you're walking, talking, being the person that we want representing this brand, we got some opportunities for you.
Absolutely. You do. That's one thing we're really key on in the marketing department is we want to work with partners and individuals that, believe in our product, right? So, I mean, there's so many other, especially on social media, influencers and all different, components from events. We want to, we're starting to do a lot more events. We want events that want us there. They just don't see us as a vendor. We create some experience for the attendees that are there, and it works both ways. So I think that's critical. Authenticity is extremely critical, and I think we all can tell on social media someone that's just getting paid, or on YouTube when you watch videos, and it doesn't come across as authenticity, and I think the consumers know, especially today with all the ads we're hitting. I think we've become expert analyzers in what we're watching and the content we're receiving, and there's so much other content. I don't want to watch it. We're not going to watch it. You can flip to the next thing. So, and it's real quick. You got a couple seconds to engage or not, and I think that's important. So, yeah, if there's anyone out there that wants to work with us, we would love to. Reach out to us. Go to Celsius.com. We have a page you can reach out through from brand ambassadors, partners, some local events or charities as well. Reach out, let us know. Wow. So we just did a Crossing with a Career a couple months ago. That's cystic fibrosis. It's a great event. We're paddleboarding from Bimini in the Bahamas over to the Florida coast. Yeah, they go through all through the night, and that's a great event as well. So we're always looking for fun ways and great ways to interact, give back to the community, and partner with organizations looking to live fit and live healthy and live life.
Where do you see the future of this kind of, I don't want to say just product, because personally, feel free to interject, I feel like this product, we'll say energy drink, is really limiting. What I'm hearing, what I'm seeing with you all is here is a way, quite literally, to supplement a lifestyle, to supplement and to support a goal, to supplement a way of living,
Yep.
whether it's a stay-at-home dad or somebody in the gym trying to, lose that 50 pounds or on a road trip, whatever.
Yep.
It's this direction that I think us as a species are headed. And that is, we really want to make thriving the standard. We have tasted, pun intended,
Yep.
what the
Yep.
good life can taste like. And
Yep.
now we know the difference of what good feels like. And we want to maintain it and we want to optimize it. And I know that's for damn sure my audience here on Everforward Radio. So with Celsius, where are you all pushing the boundaries? Where are you going? Where do you see this kind of movement, product, one specific product aside, where is it going and how are you guys getting there?
Yeah, I think you nailed it. I mean, that's exactly right. I mean, living healthy, living well. I mean, we just all got through a massive pandemic, right? I mean, we're all walking around. It's if you're not, if you're not thinking about your health and wellness goals and thinking more about what you're putting in your body, you're doing it now than ever before. So, products like Celsius, being in health and wellness, this is a mega trend that's here to continue to grow. If you look at athleisure wear as well, right? That didn't exist 10 years ago. That was called gym clothes.
Yeah.
Now there's a whole new category that's evolved. This category is going to continue to evolve. I think, connecting with the consumers in an emotional way, it's exactly what you said. We all want to live better. We want to live the good life. We want to live longer. There's so much opportunity out there. The product aligns. We've created this Arctic Vibe line. That's some really cool flavors. We have Peach Vibe, we have Tropical Vibe, and this summer we launched the Arctic Vibe, which is a frozen berry flavor. And we're doing a lot of great events. The flavors taste great. They're fun. They're really more inviting as well. And that's working really good for us. We brought like frozen tundra winter on the tropical beach to Miami, and it was a really good time.
I saw that event. Yeah, that looks incredible. Yeah.
It was a good time, but I think that's where the category is going. It's better for you. It's functional. We all want more function in the foods we consume, right? That's as well. Look, if you look at categories, look at Beyond Meat, Impossible Meats. We want the environment's so important as well. I think that's on everyone's mind, especially what's going on. You read the news and what's going on with global warming, and we need to all live better, live healthier, and live fit all the way around. Not only us, but also for the environment.
Could not agree more. And I'm going to pause right there. Actually, John, if we could get you to the focus just went all the way to the back wall there. You look great. You were blurry, and the focus went to the wall. And we're back. Okay, good deal. Awesome.
All right.
We're good.
Excellent.
Well, kind of getting towards the end here, this has been really revealing and a breath of fresh air, honestly, to talk to somebody who is, I say at the top of the food chain at a brand that is on a mission to be successful and to thrive and to provide for its incredible team, but to help us, and by us, I mean humans in the process. How has this personally influenced your life? I'm always curious of people that run organizations, CEOs, any business leader. If you have one person or 100 people underneath you or 1,000 people underneath you, I have to assume that the work that you do and the services you provide and the products that you create have to kind of influence your life. Is that an assumption? What has Celsius done for you personally now with your time at the top?
Yeah, I mean, I remember the journey. I mean, health and wellness is more important now than ever before. I think, as well, and always thinking about that. And, it's definitely changed my life as well since I've been here. So, I have two Celsius every day, stay active, care about what I'm putting in my body and, what you're eating. And, prior to that time, I didn't go to the gym. So now going to the gym, staying fit, staying healthy, need to live longer.
All right.
Pick up every day, wake up every day with the teams. I'm a big believer. We're all working together as a big team. We're collaborative. I talk to everyone. A lot of still mining. Like I said, paranoid as always. I think that's always critical as a business. I mean, it's. I started off as the CFO, so and we're a publicly traded company. So you always gotta. We're only as good as we deliver tomorrow. So you're fighting for the next quarter, the next day. We just got a partnership with Pepsi. So we're going to be switching over our distribution. So that's really big.
Congratulations.
That's a huge opportunity for the brand. And it's a lot of people are saying, isn't that, it's so exciting for that to happen. And it absolutely is exciting. And it's amazing, but to be qualified, we've been working so hard to get qualified, and we're at a really a pivotal point. And that just means the bar was just raised, right? So need to run a lot more faster. So we need to get in position to run faster. So that's really what we're working on now. It's just an exciting time for the company. But like I said, kind of, it's I don't look at the business any different than when I did the first day we were going in and we were getting delisted. It's fighting, it's surviving, it's and making it better each and every day. It's deal with issues every day. We weren't dealing with issues. They wouldn't need, they wouldn't need us. No one would need us. The brand would just grow by itself. But we're here. This is a living, breathing thing as well. And you got to keep evolving, staying up on consumer trends, marketing trends, competition, and continually evolving with the business as we're growing from marketing and sales, operations, and we have a legal department. We have IT departments now. We're building all these departments, so it's an interesting time. It's fun. We just expanded into a new office, so we're up to about 260 employees now.
Wow!
We have 10 more. Nice. 10 more starting, I guess, next week, I was told today. So we're trying to figure out where everyone's going to be seated. So it's fun.
Amazing. Well, congratulations on all the success. And it kind of makes me laugh on the inside. Besides that one experience years ago of another brand really not sitting well with me, I think another bad taste I had in my mouth about this type of product, energy drinks in general. Shout out Sergeant Major Cleary, if by chance you're listening, watching this show. I had this sergeant major in the Army that he was notorious for, if he saw you holding, drinking, storing any of these energy drinks that were coming out back in, this was back in like 2005, 2008, something like that. He would just stare you down like he was about to kill you and just say, those are bad for you. Really, really bad. And he would just stare you down until you basically just like poured it out or got rid of it or lied and said it's not mine. And then he would leave. So Sergeant Major Cleary, I hear you, but I think Celsius would make the list. This one's pretty good. Yeah.
Oh yeah. We're big in the military. We're big in the military. It's the product's great. And that's one thing that's different. No crash, no jitters. We hear that all the time. We're more inviting. The demographics 50-50 because we go for this, inclusive brand. Health and wellness is cross-generational as well. We have there's one individual. She is, I think she's 84, and she drinks a can playing like pinochle with her friends, and then she calls up and asks for swag. Yeah, she called like last week. The brand is resonating with such
Grandma
a broad consumer
Celsius
base.
coming in hot.
Yeah. Grandma, she's coming in hot. Her pinochle. She wanted some swag to hand out at the next event. She's got everyone drinking it. It's awesome.
What? I can't think of a single brand that's dominating the pinochle demographic. So you guys, be first to market there for sure.
There you go. There you go.
Well, John, I ask my guests the same question at the end of every interview to kind of bring it home to the theme of the show. And that's kind of like how we started the beginning of it. How do we turn the obstacle before us into the way? How can I take or choose to change my mindset when I look at this adversity before me? And that could be, you sprained an ankle, you lost a loved one, you lost your job, you're just not where maybe you want to be in life or where you should be or could be. It's the mindset shift of turning this adversity into my advantage so that I can move forward, live a life ever forward. When you hear those two words, my man, what does that mean to you? How do you live a life ever forward?
Yeah, I mean, I think you go back. I mean, if you look at, I was told, I remember I was told, my grandmother always told me when I was younger that, you'll come up to many forks in the road, right? But there's a fork opportunity, like you mentioned. We're all going to come into obstacles. There's paths we take based on the decisions we make. Always, you want to be always calculated on your decisions, and other opportunities will open. It's most important when those opportunities arrive that you have the courage and to make that decision to take that opportunity. A lot of opportunities come and people don't really take those opportunities or have that initiative. And I think that's a major advantage for entrepreneurs when you look at it. They're willing to take that risk and take that advantage to give that thrive. And, listen, if you give it your all, it is, that's what and that's what that'll make you feel good, even if you fail, and you will fail. you need to learn from that and get better each and every day. So, there's forks in the road. Analyze, make the best decision. Another fork will come.
Maybe grab a can of Celsius and you'll be able to power through it a little bit better, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, John, this was a pleasure. Thank you so much for making time and sharing your incredible zone of genius and years of experience on navigating troublesome waters and really being a great model for what's possible when we choose to burn the boats, and love what you guys are doing at Celsius. Like I said, this is the only product like its kind that I've ever even considered. So you guys
love it.
got
Love
me.
it.
Got me. Yeah.
Love it.
Beautiful.